What is going on, guys? Dylan here, Solo Cuts Landscaping. Man, has it been a while since we posted on the YouTube. Really, it's been a while since we posted on anything like Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, all that. But there's a couple reasons why that I did take about a 30-day break from social media. There's some things I needed to focus on. There's some things on the back end up in here that I needed to kind of hone in on. So anyways, guys, we're going to hit that in this video. So let's cue the intro. Alright guys, so here we are in this video. If you guys are new to the channel, this is your first time checking out the channel, please consider subscribing. A little back end, I work full-time and run a lawn and landscape company. I know there's a ton of guys out there just like me who's working full-time and running a business, and you're just trying to get it taken off. You're trying to get it to that level to where you can ditch the full-time job and take your company on full-time. I'm not saying I have all the answers for you guys, but I will take you through my successes, and I will definitely take you through my struggles and failures, so that way if you're a couple steps behind what I'm doing, you can see what I'm doing that works, but also you can see what didn't work to where maybe you can bypass that, take a little detour, and go straight to the top and be successful. So, like I said, guys, if you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing. So, like I said, guys, I did take about a month or so off from really all social media platforms. This was a super hectic fall. I'm not gonna lie, it was my busiest fall that I've had, and also Mother Nature didn't cooperate for snot. So I'm gonna hit on a few things here. They're really in no particular order, but just a few things that did happen this fall, or some things that were going on to where I felt like I just needed to drop social media for a little bit and just pile on the business and take care of some things on the back end. So number one, like I said, these are in no rhyme or reason, importance, whatever, but number one is going to be the fact that this was my busiest fall I have had so far in business. We almost tripled our amount of fall cleanups that I've done. I'm saying we, as in there's more than me. It's just me. So that right there was just a huge thing to take on. We had a big old steep incline in business. This is going to be hectic. I'm a solo guy. The evening hours are cut short when the daylight changes. Of course, everyone saw it on social media. I think everyone was really dealing with it, but we had a super wet, cold, frozen fall. Mother Nature dumped everything in the bucket on us this fall. So working full time, I say I'd get off average around 2 or so, and from there I'd go hit a cleanup or so. Well, I'd only have 3, maybe 4 hours of light to work till it was dark. When you're trying to do that and the weather is completely working against you in all forms, my time was limited. Our last cleanup, I think, was the week going into Christmas. My time was limited to where I was like, once I got off work, if it was good enough to go out and do a cleanup, I was doing it. And I know it only takes a couple seconds to throw a camera up or snap a picture, post it on Instagram, whatever, but I just felt like I just needed to fully focus on the business because, like I said, Mother Nature did not cooperate at all. When these leaves are super wet, it takes that much longer to do a cleanup, There was days where I was out there on dry days where the leaves were dry and I was just nailing them out. But when they're super wet, it takes a lot longer. You have to be more careful. Unloading, it takes more time. So that was a big thing, was just the fact of, we had a high volume of cleanups. Mother Nature didn't cooperate, so I felt like it was just something I just needed to focus on the business and make sure I got those jobs done. All right, guys, so the second thing is obviously with the struggles of the weather, the struggles of taking on a lot more business and being a one-man show, working full-time, all that jazz, it was a big old mental game, to be honest with you. There was days where I was just like almost in a panic because I'm like, man, we didn't know what weather was going to bring. So, I had all of these cleanups on the schedule to get done, and Mother Nature just kept bringing us this weather to where I was like, man, I feel like any time now, because how cold it was going to snow, and the next thing you know, there's money out the door. But mentally, I was getting my what beat. There was nothing I could do to stay caught up. I was trying to just tack at them. But once I felt like I was getting ahead, Mother Nature would go in, drop a couple inches of rain, snow on us, whatever, then be freezing for the next 4 days. And then my list would just pile up again. So I feel like in my head I could never get caught up, which then just kind of sent me into like this anxiety thing to where you know, I was freaking out. I wanted to end the year strong, and it just felt like it just wasn't going to end up that way. So balancing the struggles of running the business, making sure that I'm taking care of all the customers, keeping everything in line in the business, trying to make sure the books are good, and also balancing my full-time job, you know, waking up between 3:30, 4 in the morning for work. It was just a haywire of times where just mentally that was enough for my mental game, but like for the ease of mind, it was best just to focus in on the business. And once we got that taken care of, once we get into that, then it'll be a good time to, you know, get back on the game of the YouTube and social media and all that stuff, and get that stuff taken care of. Also with that, guys, I guess this kind of falls right into the mental game, is I'm a big time like schedule guy, to where I hate being thrown off my schedule. I don't care if it's 15 minutes or if it's 3 hours. I see it's the same thing. Like my full-time job, you know, we're delivering to restaurants and all that stuff, and you know, it's like my weekly customers that I deal with at my full-time job, they know if I'm 15 minutes behind when I walk in, they say, "Man, what's going on? You're 15, 20 minutes behind." That in my head, it just sends a chill up my spine. I don't know. I just hate being off schedule. You know, anything really, like, it's just an anxiety thing to where if I'm 15 minutes behind something or I'm a couple hours behind something, there's no difference in that. It hits me the same. When I was like thrown off my schedule of, you know, like, oh, I'm gonna get to you this day. Oh, nope, never mind. We just got snow, so I'm gonna get pushed back, and that just really freaks it really messes with my head. That's like this time of year. I'm gonna make a video on this. Brian's wife, Elizabeth, on the FPO2 channel, she did a video about this, about kind of like the winter lull, winter anxiety or whatever, and that video actually kind of hit home because I go through the same thing with that, but I will be dropping a video here soon on that. But anyways, guys, like I said, this point is, I hate being off my schedule, and with the way all the weather and everything was going, and being a solo guy and time and all that, I was not on a schedule. It was just get it in when you can, and that completely just mind-boggled the heck out of me. All right, guys, not to make this video too long, we'll hit on one more point here, and this one is actually going to be one of those ones I was at the top of the list. Like I said, as with the schedule just being hectic, I didn't feel as a father, as a husband, that at that time, as hectic the schedule was, that was also cutting into my family time. You know, because I was having to go out on the weekends, which, you know, I know that comes as a business owner, but with having to go out on odd times of the weekends, you know, just making last minute decisions like, hey, sorry, I gotta get this cleanup done. I felt like, you know, if I spent handful of hours, you know, cutting a video, recording video, whatever it may be, that's like a handful of hours that I could have spent with my wife and my son. Because I know on the back end, my wife does more than I could ever ask for her to do, especially like this fall. It was hectic, you know, and we had a lot going on, so I just felt like I don't think it would be right for me to sit in the office and cut videos for a handful of hours on the weekend, or, you know, if it was a spare time through the week. I just felt like it was more or less, I just needed to spend some time with the wife and kids. Like I said, we have a lot going on right now, to where I felt like that was super important at the time. And it's not just at the time, it's always important. Like if I would have put the videos out, that would have been me putting them on the back burner there, and that's something I definitely don't want to do. Schedule wasn't right, my head wasn't right, and I felt like, you know, getting to spend at least as much time as I could with them was probably the one thing that was keeping me sane through that fall. Alright guys, so in one more, this one was more of like a swift kick in the you-know-whats. When I was at work one day, my wife had texted me or called me and said, hey, we don't have any running water. I was like, all right, well, I'll check it when I get home. So I checked the breaker was fine, went all the way back to the water pressure tank was empty. So short story long, we had to come up with $9,000 like that to get a new well dug. They had to dig 200 feet to get to the proper gallons per minute, you know, to be substantial enough for, or sufficient enough for our house. We're moving right along, and for that to happen, and you know, be right between the holidays, right before Christmas, for, you know, that to happen, and then have to fork out $9,000 just like that. into a new well, that was a pretty stressful time. You know, luckily, fortunate, you know, that we had that aside to where, you know, we were able to just pay it and get on with it and not have to swipe a credit card or anything like that. So definitely fortunate, you know, in that aspect of having the money in hand to do it. But that was a stressful time just because, you know, holidays coming around the corner. That's a bill you're not looking or, you know, expecting to get. So yeah, so that was another thing. I was just, like I said, it was just really just a stressful fall. And where I ranked social media up on the list was down here. So yeah, so that's why I took that 30-day, I guess a 30-day break off of social media. So anyways, guys, that is it for this video. Not something super exciting, not crazy edits, all that stuff, but this is like a real talk video, I guess, and you know, kind of explain myself on why I took a little hiatus here for a little bit. Hopefully you guys understand where I'm coming from, and if you guys have been in that boat, leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you guys have been through. If you guys ever had to take a, you know, break from everything, let me know what you guys did to cope with any of that. We're all out here trying to learn. Maybe someone watched this video, read your comment down below. You know, maybe you can help them get through something that they're going through, because guys, that's what it's about. Hashtag grow the community. We're all here to support each other and you know, help everyone out as much as we can. So anyways, guys, like I said, if you are new to the channel, please consider smashing that subscribe button, and we will see you in the next one.